some great images as well from that game. The look on that young man, Mayalu's face when he scored that fifth goal. Wow. It was one of the lasting images, wasn't it?
Honestly, I was so happy for him, Jeff. It was like he'd won the lottery. It was like, I've scored in the Champions League final. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't the way he ran off. It was like he was in shock. I've scored. Wow. Amazing. That's what you want to see from young players, the age of 19 as well. Honestly, there's so many plus points about this PSG team and the manager as well. So,
well, he's everybody's favourite now, isn't he? Luis Enrique is everybody's favourite. Yes.
The story as well about him losing his daughter as well. I think everyone watching that game was emotional.
Yeah,
you know, and you could see the emotion. He puts on the t-shirt after the game as well with the picture of the flag holding by his daughter. So emotional win for him, and you could tell the players played, Jeff, like, Gaffer, we've got this. It's done. That's how they played for more than 90 minutes on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, Inter were shocking, but that's another story. Joining us now for more is top French football broadcaster, massive PSG fan, Julian Laurens. Morning, Julian.
Good morning, Julian.
Hello, boys.
Congratulations.
I bet you must have enjoyed that so much. I'll tell you, before we come to the game, the specifics of it, Julian, Pep Guardiola, Mikel Arteta, even Arne Slot, sitting at home watching that, or sitting in the ground watching that, what are they thinking when they see that PSG performance?
It's a good question, Jeff. I think that win shows us a few things, really, which we knew. We discussed it together before on the show. And I saw Toni Kroos with a very interesting message on social media as well after the final. For him, the former Real Madrid legend. And when you see what Real Madrid did this season, you maybe understand a bit more. But he says, if you're not a proper team, you can't win those kind of competitions and trophies. And I think this PSG team shows that it's not just a sum of individuals and trying to sign the best player in their position and just put them on the pitch and that is going to work. As we saw with PSG previously, Messi and Neymar and Mbappe, that didn't bring them the Champions League. However, this team built as a team where every component is part of the team shows you that when you play together, attack together, defend together, when you have that mentality, that unity, the cohesion, then you can go far. And of course, you need talent and you need money to invest in talented players, the right profile for the right position. But a football team is a big jigsaw and you need to put the right pieces in the right place. But when they are all on the same page and pulling in the same direction, then you can achieve anything.
Julian, we could speak to you for about 5 hours about PSG players. Doué, outstanding. Hakimi, scoring in the quarterfinals, semi-finals and final. That's your right back, scoring 3 goals in them big games. But I want to talk to you about Vitinia, because I thought he's been outstanding all season. It was outstanding in the final. But one part of the game, when he picked up the ball for Doué's second goal, he does a 1-2 with Marquinhos. He runs through the ball, does a 1-2 with Dembele, who flicks it back to him. Then he drives through, and the timing and the weight of the pass into Doué to finish first time, I just thought that summed up Vitinia as a player.
Yeah, you're right, Gabby. Yeah, I mean, exceptional performance from him through this final. I remember the stats for the semi-final second leg against Arsenal where he's got 100% pass accuracy. So there was not a missed pass in his whole game in 90 minutes in the Champions League semi-final second leg against a team like Arsenal. He never lost the ball, basically, which I just find it incredible through his passing. And this is the player that he is. And I don't know if you remember when he was at Wolves, he had a season with Nuno there where he was very young, to be fair, still learning his trade, didn't play much, although he scored a banger in the FA Cup for them. And then went back to Porto, clearly still had a lot to learn. PSG went to sign him, and Luis Enrique has made him one of the best defensive midfielder, holding in that role, or maybe the best one in terms of playing one. He's not the most physical or the quickest either. But what I think, Gabby, too, is if you're Inter Milan and Inzaghi, and I know they're a different team than what your Villa team did in that second half at Villa Park on Vitinia, is being aggressive on him. Don't let him breathe.
Yes.
And that rattled PSG and that rattled Vitinia. Inter let him play. He was literally in his sofa, picking up the passes, the runs, like you say, on that third goal. And at no point in that game, they tried to put him under pressure. So if you let him play, he's even better.
Julian, Luis Enrique, has he now won the right to be compared with the very best coaches in the game And I mean that in historical terms as well, looking over the years.
Yeah, I think so. If you look at the list of managers who've won the Champions League with two different teams, it's only the top of the top. It's only the world-class ones, the best ones ever. And he's on that list with Carlo and Pep and others. If you look at the managers who won two trebles and proper trebles, Champions League, League and domestic cup, the main cup, there's only two who've done it with two different clubs, and it's him and Guardiola, again, the former teammates. So I think he's right up there. I understand there's 10 years between the two trebles, the one with Barcelona and Messi and the one of Saturday. And in that time, things haven't always been great for him with the national team of Spain. Roma, there's been things where his stubbornness maybe and his personality that is very, you are either with me or it's my way or no way, basically. Didn't always work. I get that. But really, after what we saw on Saturday as well, the masterclass of what 2025 has been from him and his team and what he's built in Paris, he has to be right up there.
Julian, as well with Enrique, when I finally thought to myself, PSG going to win this Champions League, was when I seen the clip from last season where he's aggressively speaking to Mbappe. He's like, you've got 3 months here. You are an outstanding footballer going forward. But if you don't defend, if you don't press, Asensio will feed off you. If you don't do the hard pressing, then you are not a superstar. And the aggression, it was like speaking to a little kid and you were speaking to Mbappe. And I'm thinking, all the best for the other PSG players if they're not in line with what he wants.
You're right, and the saddest thing I think, and as you know, I love Kylian so much, and I'm with him, but he didn't want to do it, and that incredible clip that you can find from the documentary on Luis Enrique's season last season didn't change anything, Gabby. And you think, wow, but it shows you two things. It shows you how inspirational I think Luis Enrique is, and that's why the players love him so much. Because he made them better, he made them grow, but you want to, anything he says you would do, right?
Yes.
Apart from Kylian. But also, if you look at the way Dembele pressed Jan Sommer on Saturday night, disturbing everything that Inter could do with the ball, the way the whole team, as we said before, play for each other, attack together, defend together, that's very much Luis Enrique's DNA. And the question that has been asked to me the most since Saturday night by PSG fans and on other shows, everything is, would they have got there with Mbappe in the team? Had he stayed and not gone to Real Madrid, would he have been to the final and won this Champions League? And we will never know because we can't guess it.
Yeah.
One thing for sure is the recipe of the success is that exactly what you said, that everybody is running, everybody's doing exactly what Luis Enrique says, and Kylian never did it.
Julian, look, it didn't tarnish the performance or the victory, but we have to mention what happened afterwards, particularly in Paris. I mean, they were just terrible, terrible scenes.
Yeah, I mean, I wish, like you said, I wish we didn't have to talk about it, but we do. It was the same after the semi-final. My hotel was right by the Parc des Princes. There was so much trouble. They just qualified for the final. There was so much trouble outside. The police were throwing tear gas that got in the lobby of our hotel, and it was the UEFA hotel with a lot of former players, a lot of big people.
And Julian, they've just won the Champions League, and I'm seeing the clips on social media. I'm like, why are you not having a good drink and celebrating and dancing and enjoying? Why violence when you win?
I don't know, Gabby. It's a social issue. Every New Year's Eve, it's the same. They burn cars, they smash windows, they try to loot shops. I just don't know. I think there's tension there anyway between youth and the police, and especially from difficult areas in Paris, in the banlieue. I understand that. I understand a lot of people are not happy. But like you said, this was the greatest night in the city history of the club history, and then you still go and do that? I just don't understand it.
On the pitch, it was wonderful anyway. Julian, thank you very much indeed.
It's a pleasure, mate. Thank you.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.